Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Metcalf's Movie Journal. This is the show where I do quick reviews for the movies that I watch, give them a score out of 10, and then add them to my list. So let's see what movie we're reviewing today. On Valentine's Day, February 14th, I watched Sex Tape, which came out in 2014. And with that simple two-word title, Sex Tape almost completely sums up the film's entire plot before the opening credits have even finished rolling. Two average, married 40-year-olds make a sex tape in that classic effort to spice up their dwindling sex life. And of course, the stupid husband ends up accidentally uploading it to the cloud, and because he's so old, he can't figure out how to get it back. Comedy. We then have to suspend our disbelief enough to go along with the idea that if it does get uploaded to a porn site, against their will, mind you, they number one, won't be able to get it taken down, and number two, if the wife's potential new employer sees it, then she surely won't get the awesome new job she wants. The husband and wife in question here are played by Jason Segel and Cameron Diaz, and the potential new boss is played by Rob Lowe. But even with that fairly talented cast, there really wasn't much anyone could do with this lackluster script, since almost all the jokes centered around being embarrassed about sex, so it's all extremely one note. It genuinely seemed at times like it was written by that group of immature kids at the back of class who couldn't stop giggling at the word penis or vagina. And I think that kind of humor is only funny when you're in your early teen years. In terms of immature comedy, I think I prefer when the jokes skew even younger, with adults acting more like straight-up children, as opposed to those gross early days of puberty. I do also feel safe in saying, though, that even if this type of humor was my style, I still don't think this movie would be the best example of it, because again, there's simply not enough variety to the jokes for this to be considered a great comedy. The romantic half of this rom-com might be even more pointless than the comedy, though, because the entire character arc between the two main characters consists of them going from the stereotypical married couple who used to have a great sex life, had it slow down on them when they had kids, and then they have this crazy night trying to retrieve their sex tape to voila, their whole relationship is magically fixed. Usually a bit of predictableness can be forgiven, since it sort of comes with the genre, but the journey really should be much more compelling and interesting than it was here. Diaz and Segel are both pleasant enough as they always are, but together they never seemed like an authentic couple. They were more like two charming people who just happened to be sharing some screen time. Maybe if this was the only rom-com you'd ever seen, you might think this was a decent enough movie. But the second you start having to compare it to the countless other classic rom-coms, like Jerry Maguire, or 10 Things I Hate About You, or the almost identical in tone Date Night, it becomes crystal clear that Sex Tape just doesn't measure up. It's obviously not my favorite genre to begin with, but there's still so many clearly better examples of this type of movie. So if you're wanting to watch a more recent film that captures the same sort of theme but just does it way better, I'd recommend Game Night. It's the same basic story about a married couple trying to spice things up, but it's executed much more effectively. Honestly, both are slightly disjointed, messy movies, but the action and humor in Game Night can actually sustain the otherwise flimsy setup, whereas Sex Tape just doesn't have enough of either of those things to support it. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 10, and it landed at number 1196 on my list, putting it right here. In between that remake of The Karate Kid and The King and I. So thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching another edition of Metcalf's Movie Journal. Be sure to click like and subscribe for new videos every week. And if you got something you really want me to watch, be sure to drop me a comment.